Hey guys, what's crack-a-lackin'? Hey, can somebody give me a 5 for 5 in there as I get started here? I just want to make sure that our audio is good. I was gonna go a little earlier, but Marth or Adam and Dex ended up going live about the same time I was going to. So you guys know I don't go live if they're live. Hey guys, what's crack-a-lackin'? Hey, okay. Can somebody? Hey, what's crack-a-lackin', Wages? No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys. So I'm just gonna kind of jump into this and give you guys a little rundown, real quick, an overview here. Then we'll get back into it deep a little bit. But as you can tell, guys, that's that X-Flare from yesterday when we were live. This is the one that happened before. This is why I did a show yesterday, and then this happened live while I was on air. Sorry about that, guys. Now I want to point something out here real quick too. We just had another small flare. We are seeing right here a proton increase. That proton increase is probably the start of this solar storm that's happening. Okay? I'm not really sure if it is 100. We're going to look into it. Okay? You guys are going to see what I do when I look at this stuff. But I did look at the Discover data, and it does kind of look like that we might already be in progress of getting into a geomagnetic storm. Now, let me just... Daggone it, I hate that when that stupid thing does that. Anyway, I'll show you guys that in a minute. But they did update this, guys. There were some more eruptions after I got off stream last night. What you're looking at right there is about 5 CMEs. Okay? So the sun got very active very, very quick. And I would also ask you guys to share this one because I don't usually go live this late. So if you could, it really does help. Share, like, and everybody across the board on YouTube right now is having that issue. And not really just on YouTube, social media in general. There's a whole lot of crazy stuff happening. So that's just what I'll say. Hey, Steven, good to see you. Good to see everybody in there. I'll say hi here in just a few minutes. But guys, you can tell that this is no joke, okay? This one is not a joke. And I'm not trying to overplay this either. This is not something that's going to knock our grid out either. Okay, this is not SHTF. This is definitely a very, very strong solar storm headed our way. Now, if it hits like the models are showing, we will definitely get decent stuff out of this. One of the big things you're going to see is Aurora, and we always talk about that. But if you remember this model here, the endless spiral over here at NOAA, now this is the official forecast, right? NOAA does the official forecast for space weather. So this is the model that they use, and NASA uses the same model, but they take different parameters into consideration at higher levels. So they don't match. And so they're not going to match exactly, but in this particular case, they're really, really close. Close to being the same. So, and I always tell you guys, when we see that happen from two different agencies using the same model, but they're plugging in different numbers. And they might even be the same numbers, but they could be taking, say, solar wind speed may not be as important to that model as it is on this one, right? That's what I'm trying to say there. Now, it could be exactly the same. I'm not sure exactly what parameters that differ on the models, but they are different. It's like a hurricane spaghetti string model. When everybody see those lines when a hurricane's coming in, as it gets closer and closer to the coast, you see those models start to agree more, right? Same thing here. As these CMEs get closer and closer and closer to Earth, the models start to line up. And they're lined up right now. So I'll say you that. We are right now expected to be in a geomagnetic storm within 2 hours here. Well, no, let's see here. What time is it UTC right now? What is UTC time right now? Oh, goodness. What time is it? Okay, so it would be about 3 a.m. UTC. In about 10 minutes, that's what it will be. Well, no, it would be... Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. So, yeah. So I point that out because this right here is our geomagnetic activity, and we measure that by the KP index. Now, when we see it get to a 5, that means a G1, lowest level storming. We don't get concerned with that a whole lot. We are seeing more things happen with lower level storms. Starlink, they lost like 20 satellites about 2 years ago. Then another company that was launching the same thing, they lost like 6 or 7 a week later. And what happened was they launched in a very, very low level geomagnetic storm. Now, typically that wouldn't even bother them. They've launched in those kinds of conditions a lot. But they actually, if I remember right, they actually did blame it on that. But it's kind of, what my point there is, the geomagnetic storming that we're getting is affecting us more than what it used to. Either that, or there's probably a lot of this going on. Our communications are better. We have a lot more access to all the info, right? And stuff like that. So we're more aware, is what I'm trying to say, also. So it doesn't mean that it didn't never happen before. We're just more aware of it now, and we pay attention to it. Plus, I do think our magnetic field's weakening. It's in the data. I'm not going to sit here and kind of hash that out. But at the end of the day, all that stuff wrapped up into one big ball will tell you that lower level storms now will be doing more than what they used to. And so on and so forth as you get higher. So the higher ones used to go to a certain level and stop, right? Well, now they're going past that. So, yeah. So I'll just leave it at that. But they are forecasting a G3. They don't put this G3 here. See it right here? They don't do this lightly, okay? They don't like putting that number there. They really don't. Unless they think that's actually what's happening, because that's a significant geomagnetic storm, guys. That's very significant. I think a G3, they would label that strong. And then a G4 would be severe. And then I think a G5, they call it extreme. And we've had a couple G5s this year, and which is expected during solar maximum. And we've had all those discussions. But, guys, this is going to go on after January 1st. I truly believe that we're going to see stuff over here on the 2nd also. It's just they haven't got it plotted out. Now, I could be wrong. It just depends. Okay? So, as you can tell, we're still getting flares. Lots of flares, lots of sunspots on the front side of the sun that are communicating with one another. So I'll also say that. Now, Dr. Tony Phillips over here at spaceweather.com is reporting on the same things. Okay? It's the same thing I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, look, he's showing you the same model. So, yeah. But what he's showing you here is the flaring itself. Remember I said we had communicating sunspots before? Matter of fact, we had a communicating X flare that produced the CME that put us into G5 level storms back in May, I believe. We had sunspots that were firing at the same time. So when that happens, now this one was a little bit different, okay? These things, they could connect and they transfer highly charged particles back and forth, right? It's all magnetics, okay? But the one here on the top did fire first, slightly. So what that means is, because it wasn't at the exact same time, they weren't quote-unquote truly communicating. What happened was, this one blew, right? And it destabilized enough of the sun that it caused this one down here to go ahead and flare also. But for all intents and purposes here, they both pretty much fired at the same time. We can't really tell exactly X-ray production right down to individual sunspots. It's hard to do that. But they're able to do it in a way here. I need to dive into this a little more, because I'm not going to sit here and say that they can't decipher between one sunspot or the other, because I truly don't know. But to me, when I'm looking at this, if I see X-ray coming, I'm not sure how our detectors could separate x-ray from this spot to that spot. I'm not sure the process or the technique on that. I need to figure out what they do to figure that out, so I know for myself, and so I can relay that to all you guys. So yeah, I think I just seen somebody give some memberships. Hold on a minute here. Let's go look. Trying to stay kind of, yay, Micaiah. Thank you. 5 get to memberships. Whoever got those guys, please tell her. Well, it looks like you guys probably did already. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Miss, for putting that in there. So, yeah, but thank you. I'll give you guys a little bit better of a thank you here in a little while. But I want to get this out to you guys so you guys have a really good idea of what's happening. So anyway, that's what happened with those 2 X flares. Now, we can't discount the M7. This M7 produced the CME also. So, again, we got multiple CMEs coming at us, which I just showed you here. Okay? Now, if you just want to have a really quick, reference, if you just come over here to the Space Weather Prediction Center, see the 24-hour maximums that were observed? This is what happened within the last 24 hours. That says R2. You know why that says R2? Because we're now past 24 hours since this big X flare happened. That's why. But look at their predicted. This is a G3 storm. They're forecasting the G3 today, within hours from right now. So that's kind of what I'm saying. Hey, we get some more memberships down there. Let me go look. You guys are rocking it. So let's do this. Akia Draconis, gay, thank you. 5 get to memberships again. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Thank you. You guys have no idea how much that helps. You really don't. I wish I had a better way to explain to you guys how much it really it humbles me when you guys do stuff like that. There's just not a vocabulary word to tell you how grateful I actually am. You guys stick with me, and they're having pneumonia and everything else. You guys are just awesome. My mods are the best mods on the planet. I share pretty much all the mods that Marf does too, so he would probably agree with me. But yeah. Anyway, so guys, you can tell here the Aurora oval. This is the Aurora forecast here. This is just a model. I'm going to run it here. Now, you can see already that it is intensifying a little bit. Okay, this isn't like what I would call nominal. This is a little bit elevated. Now, as we get further and further into a geomagnetic storm, see how it kind of died off right there? That's usually about what it looks like on a normal basis. But we start getting space weather again, and look what happens. So, and so why do I think that we could be seeing the beginnings of this solar storm? Well, let me show you. And that would be the Discover data. Okay, now I know a graph and all that is boring, which is why I'm not going to stay right here on this. This is boring stuff to look at, but it is essential to understand. Okay, so I beat into my own head and everybody else that listens to me the BZ. That's our magnetic orientation, and if we're at a -6 or bigger on this BZ indice here, what we're going to have is we're going to couple to more of the magnetic fields inside the CMEs, typically. Okay, so if we're at -6, we got a way better chance of getting into geomagnetic storms. We got a better chance of getting hit harder. Okay, so. And as you can tell here, and I've shown you guys this before, when you see this black line here and the red line's the BZ and the black line's the BT. I'm not going to get into what the BT is, but oftentimes you'll see it right at the same time. They'll go different directions. The BT will go up and the BZ will start going down. Looks like a Pac-Man mouth, right? Hey, Tin Top, thank you for being a membership for 5 months. That's awesome. Guys, anybody that is a member, please don't forget to use that. That's a free super chat right there. You guys get one of those a month. They give it to you. So please use that. It's always interesting to see how long you guys have been members, and you guys, again, it humbles me. But anyway, When this opens up like a Pac-Man mouth, oftentimes that means we're seeing some sort of uh, a hit from the sun. Okay, and in this case, I do think that's what's happening. We get these little small ones a lot of times prior to the bigger hit. Okay, it's just something that we see. I wish I had a better way to, kind of explain that, but there's not really. I mean, we can just sit here and talk about that all day long about the BZ. You know I can. But it is the most important, in my opinion, the most important data point that we can go point to and say, hey, this is why we got a big geomagnetic storm, or this is why we didn't. Because if this stays in the positive, that means it's going to deflect the CME a lot easier. So that would deflect some of the plasma from coming in, the highly charged particles. So that would keep our geomagnetic level down, if that's the case. But because of this, we could be getting into, we're probably going to land real close to what they forecasted. I do think we have a good chance of maybe even getting just a little higher. And, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we're getting a G5, because I actually do not think that's going to happen. I think that we're going to land somewhere between G3 and maybe G4. And, if it happens, it happens. And if not, then this is just my feeling on it. That's all it is. I'm not trying to say it's exactly going to happen. Hey, Franklin, thank you, buddy. Now, who's how much yet? Yep, 100%. 100%. Okay. And thank you for being a member for 8 months, bud. Appreciate you, man. Faux Rizzy. So, yeah. Okay, now, I got you guys back here at SOHO. So, let me show you what happened yesterday. I showed you some of this already, but now we have all of it. And I can show you multiple CMEs right here. So, I'm going to start that. I'm going to slow it down. Okay, now you're getting ready to see one of the bigger halo CMEs, and I'll pause it. Right about, it's coming, guys. At least I thought it was. Maybe I'm on the wrong. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Don't make a liar out of me. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe it was on the 29th. Let's look. Let's go to the previous day. Yeah, it was. I was on the wrong day. Sorry, guys. I agree, Subversive. That's going to be fun. Okay, so this is an actual disc on the imager, on the satellite, okay? And when we see the energy poke around the whole edge of it, that we call that a halo CME just because it looks like a halo. All right? So when we see that, we know it's either going off the backside or it's coming right at us. We know for a fact these are coming at us because we were able to line up the time with the flares on the front side of the sun. Now, we used to be able to go to stereo A. Stereo A used to sit, matter of fact, I'm just going to back off here and show you. Okay, so here's Earth, right? Here's SOHO. That's the satellite I'm showing you right now. Stereo A used to sit way over here. So we had a side view of the sun and a partial back view. Okay? We don't have that anymore. So because of that, we only got basically one point or one perspective here. Okay? If we had that second one, we would definitely have a lot easier time forecasting these things. Because you're essentially taking out one of the axes that you have to see if it's going to go north-south. Plus, with this satellite, if it was over here, you would be able to see if it went off the back or the front. You can see it from over here, but you can't from directly on. Okay, and it's mainly because of that occulter disc. But that occulter disc has to be there. If it's not there, too much light gets in, and it really just jacks everything up. Okay? So, yeah. All right. Now, so as we're looking at this is something that, I showed you guys most of this yesterday. So you're seeing a bunch of different eruptions. And you know, I can sit here and just pick it out. You guys can see the haze yourself right there. I'm not going to like go deep into this because I did it yesterday. And I don't want to waste your guys' time. So, but I would point you guys back over to here and look at this model, okay? This is really what hammers it home for people, and it should, because it's showing you exactly. Because what this is doing, now we have a top down, and we do get a side view over here. Okay? So we're able to see north-south. And this is going to give us east-west. Now, when you're talking about the sun from Earth, when I say east, believe it or not, I'm talking about to the left. Okay? That's how they do it. You got to pretend you're standing on the surface of the sun. And the other thing I want to talk about that, the Parker SP probe actually made it back in again. I forgot to talk about that yesterday. It got into the atmosphere of the sun again. And I think it got in a little deeper than it did the first time. And it survived. So we're probably gonna get some pretty good data from it. And they'll start sharing that with us in January. Well, obviously now, because today's the 31st. Duh. Hey, Angel, good to see you. Samantha, what's up? Hey, Daniel, good to see you, bud. Good to see you. Hey, I'm going to mention this to you, Daniel, real quick. I think you might find it interesting. I'm not going to show it on my channel because it's such a controversial thing, but I know you like looking into stuff like that. I'm not sure if you've heard about the final experiment. I didn't even know this was a thing until they did it. Okay? So, just look up the final experiment, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It has something to do with the the 24-hour sun in the Antarctic. And again, that conversation goes south really, really fast with people that get really, really nasty. Okay? So, and it has something to do with the shape of the earth and all that, okay? But I don't talk about that here. You guys know I don't. Me and Daniel, we can disagree, but we're still friends. So, and I think that I wish the rest of the world was like that. Did you watch it live, Daniel? Yeah, okay. I figured you might have, but I didn't know if you hadn't heard about it yet. I figured I'd throw it out there for you. But yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, now, let's see here. Let's go over here to HelioViewer. This is the same imaging I showed you guys yesterday, except we've got all of today's data also. So this is ultraviolet, and this is the 304, and you're going to be able to see the sunspots fire off. We actually see a pretty decent CME over here. It'll stretch out. See that right there? I think we have a bigger one from there too. This sunspot here is very active, by the way. It's rotating in. So, and something else that this particular tool is showing us right now, we have a lot of filaments on the front side of the sun. These are magnetic ropes that kind of lay there, and then when they erupt out, that's a CME. So if it comes right at us, there it is, But, and I know that this isn't exciting to look at as it used to be, but in January we're getting SDO back. So they had a water leak. It leaked all over the servers. So, life really does happen sometimes, guys. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that in the microphone. Okay. Now, let's what I do want to do is I want to show you guys another indice here, and it's called the HP. I've shown you guys this all the time before, but this gives us a more real time of geomagnetic activity hitting us. And guys, just like I said a minute ago, we're on the rise, okay? So I do believe that this is most likely the start of the CMEs coming and hitting, all right? Um, you know, if this was still down here, I might have a different opinion. But this is a 30-minute plot. If we come over here to Space Weather Prediction Center, these are 3-hour averages. So we got to wait 3 hours to get a reading. Over here, 30 minutes. And one thing is good for one thing, and one thing is good for the other. They're both good to use. Just I like for this part, what I'm talking about now, to see if something is hitting right now. This, I like the more real-time aspect of this. What I like about this one, if you take a 3-hour average plot, you actually get a better idea of how strong something is. Because you have more data there to average. You see what I'm getting at there? So, yeah. So I'll just leave it at that. Now, what can we expect? Guys, I went over this yesterday. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time on it. Let's just do this. Let's go with, what are we going to do? Okay. Let's, what I do want to do here, guys, is this. This is our magnetosphere. And this is a really good way to see what's happening. As far as what's impacting us right now. What you're looking at here is just velocity. We got to understand the model that we're looking at to have any kind of opinion on anything. Okay? I don't like, you know, and I was guilty of this at first too. I would come out and do a video not completely understanding what I was looking at. And start saying all kinds of stuff. I've since then learned to have the patience and take the time to actually understand what I'm looking at. You're better off that way. You don't have to come out here and say you were wrong as much. And in some cases, people won't even do that. Every time I'm wrong and somebody points it out, and I agree with them, I come out and tell you guys that. I don't judge you guys for having whatever opinions you have. I never have, and I never will. That's a promise that I have. That's a promise from me to everybody here. I have never, ever not done that. When I am wrong, I will be the first to tell you. Because guess what? I just learned something. I get excited about that. If I'm wrong and somebody proves to me that I'm wrong, I just learned something. So, it's not always bad to be wrong. As long as you can admit it. Anyway, what you're looking at here is the magnetosphere. This magnetosphere is created by the solar wind, space weather, hitting our magnetic field. So we get like this, basically it's like this big, huge shield, I guess, if you want to go down the Star Wars road there a little bit. It kind of just wraps around us, right? Our magnetic field is protecting us here. So the bow shock is the first point of contact. That's what you would see here. Now, that ain't going to be exact on this model, because this model can't do that. And I would go into explain why in just in a few minutes, but it would take a minute, and I'm not going to get into that. But this is just velocity, right? We can come down here and look at the density and see how different it looks. And the reason is, you see how far the bow shock is back? Guess what? It's not back here. You see where it's at? Watch. It's out here. So why did it look like it was way back here? Because the density was the same here as it was here. That's why it was all one color. That's how these models work, guys. So I point that out because some people think that bow shock goes down, and no, it does not. If that bow shock goes down, one of two things are happening. Either the sun goes away, that's what's producing solar wind, or our magnetic field is completely gone. And each one of those is a really bad day for every human on the planet. Okay? Just saying. So when somebody makes that big grand claim that, hey, the bow shock's down, I used to think that that's what was going on until I understood it. Okay? And I had to come out and apologize to everybody and say, hey, I was wrong. So I actually did. I used to think this thing would go down. And thank God I was able to you know, I'm able to admit when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I'm able to have an open mind enough to be there. And I think I'm better for it. And because I'm better for it, anybody listening to me is now better for it. And I take it very seriously. I truly do, guys. And that's not a joke. I really do. So, I've learned to, we got time when stuff fires from the sun. Typically, we got about 3 days before it gets here. So why do I want to run out here and start making some crazy claims, pretending that everything I'm saying is critical information? Right? I mean, space weather is cool enough. Space weather is intense enough on its own. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be that way. And I hate it when people do it like that, because it drags everything else in our community down. And I know I'm kind of, ranting off here a little bit. I haven't done that in a minute, but it bothers me, because a lot of us are out here doing it this way, like I'm doing it. And you get 4 or 5 people out there that don't. And it's like everybody just lumps you into one pool, Just, oh man. And what makes it even worse is, I've had conversations with people, the critical update type of thing, and I would show them where they're wrong, right, or where I think that I'm correct and they're incorrect, and they would still, without giving any explanation, just say, well, because of reasons, I'm right. It's like, if you want to show me I'm wrong, well, show me what you're talking about. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I'll give you the keys to the channel for the day. You can come on here and talk all day. I'll sit here and just Indian style and listen to you. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll learn something, right? I mean, that's just how I do things. But every time I've offered that, I've always just got crickets. But, that answers every question I ever had from somebody. Anyway, you got pressure here. This is magnetic pressure. And so this is going to increase as the solar wind does. Okay? Highly dense and high speed. All that together, you're going to see more of an increase here. A lot of people ask, well, why are we seeing more pressure back here than what we do here? The first thing I would say is go check out Dr. Tamitha Scove's channel. Dr. Tamitha Scove. Okay, she's in my awesome channel list. I talk about her all the time. She's a physicist. She's a professor at Millersville University teaching broadcasting space weather. Okay, she knows what she's talking about. She uses an analogy of what our magnetic field looks like. Okay, and how she explains it to people. She actually pulls a slinky out and puts a ball there and wraps the slinky around the ball. That's more of what our magnetic field actually looks like. Okay? We're looking at something two-dimensional here, and it's trying to represent something three-dimensional. So our brains have a hard time understanding what we're looking at. When she said that and done that, it clicked for me like immediately. And that right there is talent. I'm telling you. You're not going to get a bunch of word salad over there too. There's times where you have to use big words, but when she does, it's like me, when I have to use a big word because there's no other word for it, I explain to you what it means. Some people just want to come out here and start throwing a bunch of big words around because it makes them look smart. At least they think it does. Until they use that word that they just used, which they thought makes them look smart, and they use it in the wrong way. It cracks me up when that happens, but, I'm not saying I'm some big, English major. God knows I'm not that. Yeah. Anyway, but go check her channel out. She explains that really well. But our magnetic field is more like a ball sitting inside of a slinky. Okay? And that is exactly why, if you could pretend the coil of the slinky are these lines that do this, right? All around the whole Earth. So where's it coming in at? The North and the South Pole. That's where it comes in at. Now, during bigger storms, it can come in anywhere. cracks open up in our magnetic field all the time. Okay, so that's just what I'll point out there. Now, I'm trying to see. I don't want to miss anything. I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm missing something here, guys, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, but just know, guys, that I do think that we're going to get to this G3. I do think that we may get higher. Now, if it's starting to hit now, what that means is they're real close to their actual forecast. Now, if they're forecasting it, you know, and it's happening in roughly the same time as they say they thought it was going to, typically that means that their forecast is going to be real close on how strong it is. Because speed is a very big factor in how hard we get hit. Now, so let me show you the Aurora dashboard here. And we'll see what they're actually forecasting for Aurora. Okay? Well, thank you, DiMaggio. That puts a smile on my face. Hey, Tommy Bird. Good to see you, bud. Good to see you. Okay. All right. So what we're looking at here as far as Aurora, this is what their forecast is, guys. I don't show you a whole lot of Aurora forecasts that look like this. This is pretty intense, and it is lasting a good amount of time, which is cool, right? We're going to see some Aurora, and on that point, just like last time when we had a big storm, if you guys want to send me your Aurora photography, I will show it. Send it to me in an email, and tell me in the email that I can use it, and show it to people, and give me a rough date, or I'm pretty much going to know the date, but I would like to know the date and just a rough area that you're in, okay? Because I don't want to come out and say, oh, we had this Aurora over here, and they seen this over here in Montana, and actually somebody was standing in Maine or something. You know what I mean? So I just kind of want to know a rough area there. But if you don't put in your email that I can show it, I'm not going to show it. That's just out of respect for people. So, anyway, this is intense. Okay. Now, so what can we expect? Now, I know you see this red line. We're going to have Aurora. If we get what's coming to us right now, what they're forecasting, it's going to be below this line, guys. I mean, we're probably going to see, at least down here in Colorado, we may see some down here in Nebraska and Kansas. Maybe in far south is Oklahoma and Texas. And the last time we had like a G3 storm, which is what they're saying the highest this is going to get, we seen it in Florida. So, now remember, our technology's better now too. Our phones can really pick up some good stuff that even our eyes can't see. So if you don't think you see Aurora with your eyes, pull your phone out. Point it at the sky, take a 5-minute video, and then go look at it. And chances are, if we were supposed to be seeing Aurora in your area, you're probably going to see it. Now, I want to see it with my naked eye. So, that's what I'm looking forward to. But, okay. Now, let's, oh, and before I forget, guys, I'm going to be on the road tomorrow. My wife, we have to go down and see my wife's parents tomorrow. So I'm going to be on the road for like 5 or 6 hours. I'm still planning on doing a show tomorrow, just so you know. Even if this is a short update, I'm going to do a show tomorrow. Even if I have to go old school and do it on my phone like I used to. Which I don't think it's going to be the case. I'll probably be able to use my computer and give you guys pretty much what you're seeing now. But other than that, I will be here. So, okay. So, now, just to let everybody understand what's happening, let me go here. And let me do this real quick. You guys want to give me a roll call in there real quick, you can. Or you don't have to. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Hey, Shaver Girl, good to see you. So you guys start talking about a specific conversation, and I don't even know what you guys talk about in there, but I can just imagine people get. I mean, honestly, yeah, I almost didn't even mention it. I ain't laughing at you guys. Yeah. There's certain conversations that some people just, man, so passionate about, and I love the passion. I really do. I love you, Daniel. You're the man, my brother, and anybody else in there. Just know. See, and he's doing the right thing. If he's finding himself getting that upset, he probably should, step away so he don't say something that's really really bad. And he's respecting me when he's doing that because he understands that this is my channel, and that if it was bad enough, I would have to erase it. And I don't want to do that to him. And he respects me enough, and I respect him. So whatever you got, I don't even know what you guys were talking about in there. I just see what Daniel wrote there, and yeah. So he's doing the right thing if that's what he's. So I appreciate you, brother, for real. All right. But okay. So just to give a hey Trish, good to see you. Like Truth Seeker, what's up? Hey Don. Passion is good, isn't it, John? For sure. For sure. North Carolina, baby. What's up, Heather? Good to see you. But yeah. Let's see here. And Only Moose, hey, what's up? You have a happy New Year's too. For real. Colorado, Deborah's in the hizzy. Wow. Okay. All right, guys. So, what we can expect, and I actually do agree with their forecast, okay? I think we're going to see pretty close to what we're seeing here. At any time, we're going to start seeing the geomagnetic storm start. I do think so. There's no way we're getting out of this one without getting hit because of this right here. That's a Halo CME. There's 3 Halo CMEs that day. That one there is the biggest one. So, I don't think we get out of this without at least seeing a G1. I mean, and that would have to be the BZ never getting into the -6 at all. It really would just be like deflecting stuff. Hey, Annabore, good to see you from. That's right. Hoosierville. Like I said, guys, we're more than corn and basketball here. Hey, Lisa, good to see you. Oklahoma, baby. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. John Starr. Master TVET, son of man. Interesting. Mister's in the hizzy. Oh, you can't see no Aurora yet? Yeah, you probably won't for a few hours, Mist, I wouldn't think. Because it hasn't actually, we're not into storm level yet. Actually, it's saying this is low, but we're not this low. Okay, let me show you why. We're here. Okay, so we're above a 2 right now. Now, that ain't much, okay? So, but when we do get hit, it's going to start. And once it starts, I don't see it laying off for a good 12 hours. And so if you guys start seeing glitches, like in your Netflix or your Disney or whatever you watch, that actually could be part of that. We're probably going to see an uptick in house fires. We're going to see an uptick in electrical damage as far as, I don't know, just little stuff, right? I'm not saying big stuff. You might even get some small power outages where they got to go out and flip the breaker, where it really doesn't really damage anything, but it basically it's a false alarm. It's a false trip out. It's like a GFCI that we put in our bathrooms and kitchens now. The circuit fault or the ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI. Um, that's all. That's pretty much code everywhere you live now. You know, we don't want to be like standing in the bathtub and your wife's really mad at you or something, throws a hairdryer in the bathtub at you with it plugged into the wall. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little silly tonight. I'm getting tired. We got, like I said, we got about a 7-hour drive tomorrow, so, but is what that is. Christmas lights will blow up. There you go, Skywalker. Good one. Like it. Hey, Gunswater. Yeah, you might miss. Yeah, get your rest. You've seen them 1,000 times, I would imagine, where you're at. But if you do get some, girl, you better send them to me. And by the way, guys, go check out her channel. You really should. I mean, every time I go there, I always smile before I leave. And I'm not just saying that. So just understand that. And she made me a really cool, like, pyramid. It's really, really cool. I wish I might be able to show it. Hold on. One thing I can show you, if you guys haven't seen this yet, check this out. I mean, this, what I'm going to show you here. Okay, put it on the wrong thing, Mark. Okay, how about we go over here to the right one. There we go. Let me get that one in there. Let's get this one in here. Hold on. This was so cool. You have no idea how happy this made me miss. You really just don't. I'm a huge Star Wars geek. Okay? There you go, Daniel. We're good. But, yeah. As you can see, this is a Star Wars sticker book. Okay? So we're gonna kind of go to the light side of things here, okay? Kind of lighten it up in the chat a little bit, maybe that'll help. Anyway, she bought this for me at Costco, of all places. I couldn't believe she said she got this at Costco. So let me show you the, well, yeah, okay. Where'd the other one go? Here it is. This is the cover. And what I should have done is I should have took a picture of it from the side, Mist. I should have done that. Because this thing is thick. It's thick and it's a well-made book, number one. And it's a sticker book. And I'm telling you, I mean, I've never seen stickers, Star Wars stickers like this ever. Not to this level. It's really cool. It really is. It's really, really cool. I know I've been talking about a lot, but you talk about stuff like that you like, right? I mean, so, Miss, you got to understand how much happiness that brought me. You had no idea. And my family loves it, too. They couldn't believe. They're sitting there looking at it with me like, wow, this is cool. So, but yeah. That's your channel? Yeah, get over and check out her channel. I'm assuming you're still selling those pyramids, right? You guys need to check those out too. She does a good job with those resin pyramids also. Okay, one more thing before we get out of here. Yeah, what was I going to say? Stay safe, guys. If you're going to overindulge, if you're going to indulge at all, please have some plans in place where you don't go do something crazy. It's just not worth it. It truly just is not. You know, my son, to this day, if he drinks too much, he's 30 years old, guys. He will call me because he knows one thing. His safety is what's important to me. And I've told him since he was a kid, if that ever happens, I won't even ask questions. And I followed through with that. You know, so now he knows it. So if he's in that position, he knows he can just call me and I'm going to come get him. You have no idea what kind of peace of mind that gives a parent. Because he's put that into place like 5 or 6 times. since he's been, of legal age. So, you know, if I'm proud of something, I'm proud of that. I really am. Because not everybody will do that. But yeah. Yeah, real pumpkin. Oh, Schaefer Girl, you guys talking about pumpkin pies in there? Oh my God, I love that. I'm serious. That is actually my favorite kind of pie. Other than in the summertime, I don't want no pumpkin pie. I like strawberry rhubarb in the summertime. We actually grew rhubarb in our backyard when I was a kid. But anyway. Okay, guys. I'm going to be in Tennessee this week, right? I'm still going to be doing shows. There you go. Heck yeah. Eight months, baby. Love it, Schaefer Girl. Thank you for being here and being such a great support. Not because of the membership, but just because of who you are. And I'm not just saying that. You bring a lot of good stuff here. You make everybody smile when you come in here. Guys, you didn't know that woman there works hard. And for a long time, she had 3 jobs. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh my goodness. Wow. and still being able to make it to people's shows. It's crazy. Crazy to me. But anyway, and again, guys, I will be in Tennessee this week. I will be doing shows, and I am going to be doing some members only stuff while I'm down there. Okay. I feel like I want to do that for you guys. I can show you guys some pretty cool stuff. I'm going to Gatlinburg. If nobody's ever been to Gatlinburg, you need to get there. At least once or twice. It's extremely fun. A lot of cool stuff down there now. If you guys don't know what Dollywood is, you might not know if you don't live in the States. But that's pretty cool too. And right now they decorate for Christmas. We were down there one year right after Thanksgiving in Dollywood, and I have never seen Christmas lights to that effect ever. Till then, and till now, ever since. I mean, there was not one spot of any building or tree. Guys, I'm serious. When I say trees, I'm talking like 60, 80 foot tall trees completely covered with lights. It was one of the craziest things I'd ever seen. Beautiful too. But, yeah. But anyway. Yeah, rhubarb with salt. Yep. Some people might not know what that's about either, miss. Rhubarb with salt, and my wife was like, "You put salt on your watermelon?" Well, yeah. Ain't you supposed to? I got family from Kentucky, baby. If you live where I live, you either came from Kentucky or you got family in Kentucky. One or the other. That's a promise. So, yeah. But anyway. Oh, Ron, I'm ending the show, brother. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not feeling the greatest either. I'm going to have to try to get some sleep before we take off in the car. But just know, guys, that and again, guys, I may even stop and do a few shorts on the way down. And while I'm there, I'm going to do some members only stuff too. So just know that that's happening. I may even try to do a members only mobile live stream. I can do that on my phone, I think. I think I can get that done. I might try. So, and again, the members only stream I was going to do yesterday and today kind of fell through. I do apologize for that. I'm not going to go into what actually happened here, but I went to go live here and Marf went live, so that kind of set me back another hour and a half, which is whatever. He had no idea. He needs to do what he needs to do. But you guys know my rule. I won't go live if Marf's live if I can help it. That's just out of respect for somebody that's helped me, been a great friend to me, and helped build this channel with me. I mean, honestly, that's just a fact. So I will respect that, no matter what. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for gifting the memberships. And if you guys did get a gifted membership and you haven't clicked that bell yet, please do. Because a lot of times with the members only, And something else, members, guys, members, listen up. Listen to me. I think I'm getting ready to start some merch up. Okay? Me and my son have been working on some things. And I'm probably going to start with like a coffee mug and stuff like that. So that's coming also. Anybody can buy the stuff once we get it going, but members get discounts. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw it out there and let you know. And I got some cards I'll probably be giving away too. I still got a lot of those space Sunspot cards. So thanks for being here, guys. And as always, guys, you guys are just the best. You guys have no idea what you guys do for my mental health. Just, yeah. Again, I wish there were words that I could say. There's just not. I wish there were. But anyway, guys, God bless. Stay safe. Don't do something crazy tomorrow night. Stay off the roads if you can. God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.